Okay, so what are we doing today? I'm going to show you guys how to find gold using just even your GPS, really. You can use Google Maps with terrain, satellite. Everything is on your Google Maps on most of your Android phones, or I guess you can use it on the computer as well. You could just go to Google Earth. But using a few different websites, I'll list them right here. It's going to be, you're going to want to first go to either Diggings or MineDat. Alright, you're going to find if there's been gold found in the area that you're looking for in the first place. Alright, so once you've figured out an area that you want to go to, that you can get to, that's open for prospecting, that's had gold there found before, okay, you're going to want to go off of what other people have already told you. For one, you're going to want to read into it a lot, figure out where the best gold's been found, who's found it, what, go into all that stuff. All right, now you want to figure out what the area looks like. Okay, you can do a lot right with Google, just this app. You can find out a lot of information and stuff about the area before you even get there. I'll explain this. Currently I'm still in New England, so these are all the locations that I've been to in New England. But I'm now researching California because that's where I'm headed, and all across the country. Actually, I'm doing the same thing for a bunch of different areas. And a lot of the areas that I look into, I'll be looking at these maps all the time, and I'll be looking into areas, and then once I actually research the area, it's a well-known gold-producing area. Just by looking at certain features and stuff on maps like this, you can pinpoint areas before you even get there. So, alright, I'll zoom you into what I'm talking about. And normally, your maps are going to look like this. Okay, this is all you would see on your GPS. Alright, but if you go to this little layer map over here and go to terrain, it's going to give you all the mountains. Alright, I'll go to this area here because this is one of my favorite spots. This is Hale Hollow Road. Comes in through here. This is Hale Hollow. There's a few gold mines up in this area, a bunch of placer working, some gold mines up in here. There's two other mines right there, a bunch of other workings up in here. Alright, now there's a bunch of different stuff that you can look into when you're doing this, but just for a quick rundown, it doesn't look as good on the phone through this camera, but you can see a lot more detail. It's not as whited out, but right now it shows the river just running down right here along the road. Okay, now if you see here, this is a feeder that comes into it. There's really good gold up in here, but it only shows the river going up until about right there. Alright, see those little V's? Now those are running water as well. Now another app that you can go onto is Usgs Report and go to Hydro Cache, and it will show you every currently flowing waterway. Now I've done this with this. Now these go all the way up here to the top of the ridge. Same with this one, goes way up over into here. That's where you want to be going. You want to be going to those high areas. Now the glacier was coming from this way, so you're going to have glacier gold coming up and over the ridge. It's going to be dropping in there, plus there's all the gold veins that run through here. You're going to want to go on your bedrock maps and map your bedrock out, and you can try to find your contact zones, like right where these yellow markers are. There's pretty much an iron vein that runs through there. Okay, so you're going to want to be looking for these little depressions. Now right here, here's another case of this. You can see this is way up at the top of a mountain, and there's a pond up there. Now, like I said, this whole area was full of glacialites before, so this was a low spot in the valley up in the top of the mountains. So there's gold up in there, good gold. The old timers would work up and around these ponds, and then they would run the material down in the river, down the feeder, down the mountain. So these are the ones you want to be looking for, okay? Now, another thing you can do with this is go on your satellite view, okay? Now, the trees are going to tell you a lot about areas. You can see the different colors, like right here, these are a lot lighter green, and there's darker green everywhere else. Now, trees are going to grow differently in different soils. Higher mineralized dirt, it's going to affect the tree in different ways. Now, I've done this a lot, and I've figured out over time, if you look at all the spots that I go to that have the best gold, right here, see all the different colors? All these areas are where the gold mines were. All up in here, right there. All along right here is a serpentine belt. See the tree color difference? Okay? You want to be looking for that stuff. This is where you're going to get bigger and better gold. Okay? Now also, another cool thing about this is, let's see. When you go into the satellite view, you can literally zoom right down in. It's going to be hard to see on the phone, but like you can see the black sand where it drops out. Okay, see all the black sand right there in the corner? Now, you press and hold, you can go into Street View. Well, maybe not. I'll try that again. What's going on here? Alright, so now we're down on Street View. Okay. Now, you can spin around, zoom in. Okay. Now you can actually see what the ground looks like. I mean, you can even zoom in. Look at, you can see black sand. Alright, you can see if you can find any bedrock in the area. Okay. So, another thing you can do. Alright, another helpful thing that comes along with using Google. Alright, you got all these different things that you can do. You can look at the trees, you can look at all that stuff. Alright. Come on. Now, I've been poking around, looking at stuff with California. I have different mines. All these blue spots up there, those are all 1800s workings that were done really, and there's some really big gold that's come out of this area. Okay? So, I've been doing my normal stuff, mapping around. Let me see, where is it? We don't want to drive there yet. Sutter. Some really good gold out in here. It's hard doing. Oh. Alright. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to type something in. Okay. Now, oh, come on. Don't go there. Sorry. Getting phone calls and all types of stuff. Okay. Now, take a look at this. Alright, Yuba Goldfields, alright? Now look at the type of stuff you can find when you're looking around on Google if you spend enough time. What's that look like? That's a bucket line dredge, like Tony Beats is running up in Alaska. This is right in California, okay? You don't hear about this stuff. I mean, look at all the, these are all dredge tailings. That's all dredge tailings. Come on, focus. The one I found. Now, it's going to be tough to see on the camera, but this is really red. I mean, this is like crazy red looking dirt. You can see it from way up here. Now, if you look around enough, you'll find stuff like this. What's that look like? Looks like a mine shaft, mine tailings. Okay? Just way out in the middle of the nowhere. Okay? Look around a little bit more. Look at all those tailings piles alongside the creek. Okay? Look at it right next to the road. So, these are the things you want to be looking for. Alright? Now let's zoom back out here. Okay. Now this is Oroville. Sorry it's so bright. But this is Oroville right there. The Oroville Dam, that blue is right there. Now there's crazy gold coming out there now, right? Now, look up here. You can see it even how bright it is. Look how red that looks, okay? Now, I've seen people metal detecting, and they're in the serpentine areas, and see how red this stuff is? I mean, it just looks unbelievable. This is a town park. You can't even tell how crazy looking this is. It looks like tie-dye, right? Now, when California was formed, you got a mountain range here, the Sierra Nevadas, and then you get a mountain range here, and then you get a big valley in the middle, okay? Now, California used to be over here, and the ocean with the fault, there's a bunch of faults out here, the earthquakes, and over time it was pushing mountain ranges up, and over time, the mother lode right here is a big, huge quartz vein. It's orogenic gold that was deposited through all these volcanic events and earthquakes and other things that had gone on in the area. And there's some crazy, crazy gold deposits that go on through here, right? So pretty much anywhere in the state, you're going to find gold. And it's just on where you look. And a lot of people are out in these mountains, out, you know, you could be down in here as well. There's big gold coming out from down inside the valley. So let me show you one more thing. see? Yeah. Alright. Now, see how I have this line here, okay? I hope this shows up on the camera. But let's go up to our little layer map here. We'll go to terrain again. What do you see right there where I have those marks? It's a defined line, okay? See that line? See the terrain? See how it's a line right there? Okay. Notice that over here it doesn't look the same either. On the ground it's more bumpy. Okay. Now I've zoomed in on and searched this whole area. There's a fault here. Okay. The fault runs right through the river right here. Right down this ridge. Runs right through here. Comes right up and over. Down. Now all through here, if you zoom in, there's quartz outcrops everywhere. Okay? You gotta be looking for this stuff. This stuff is the stuff that other people aren't gonna be doing. You gotta do this stuff, and you will have good results. 100%. It takes a lot of time. I can't tell you how many hours. I mean, look at all these dots. I've made all these dots. These are all areas of interest to me, okay, on my trip. I'm going from that blue dot to there, okay, 3,000 miles. I got areas all along here, even stuff right on the road, people driving right by it, okay, all these are spots. Let's go over to Arizona. Now, let's go to satellite. Now, Arizona is mostly desert, okay? Now, the gold runs in a band, pretty much right through here, right through Kingman here, where it says Kingman, right through where these are, right through here. Well, there's gold everywhere, but the main vein the gold system runs through here. Right. Same thing. You're looking for color of dirt. You're looking for the valleys. Looking for all that stuff. Okay. So, see how there's a big ridge there? Okay? Just because that's deep, that's going to look good. You want to be looking up in here, too. You want to look in these areas. Now, you'll find out that people have found good gold in this area, and I'm sure it's in certain areas. These certain feeders are going to be different. If you look at the coloring on them, they're going to be different. You'll see black sand coming down if you zoom in. And you can see it if you go on road maps. You got to be looking for all this stuff, guys. It's going to help you out, okay? This is just Google, okay? You can just sit there and mess around with this stuff. And a lot of times when you find out some of the best areas, they're going to be in these green areas, which are state areas. So the states and towns and everybody, they know what's up. All right, don't let them fool you. Let's go over to Australia. This is Western Australia. Come on. A couple of spots that I've mapped out for people over time. I've done a little bit of research in there too. Not that I'll ever probably get there, but okay. Now, take a look at Australia. There's really, really good gold over here. Look how red the dirt is, okay? Now you're going to want to look into these areas. And as you go and zoom in, you know, there's good gold coming out of here. Now, look at this. Always a Route 49 too. Wherever there's good gold, I noticed. The 49ers. See? Good gold, and look. You zoom in. What's that? Oh, it's just a gold plant. Homestead UG Mine. Another thing you can do is, once you get there, you can click on that. Oh, there's no reviews. But sometimes you can click on it and you'll find stuff. You know, there'll be information on the area. Yeah. Give me another example. Let's go way up here. Scribner Creek. Whose mine's that? That's Parker Schnabel's. Gold Rush. That's Tony Beats. It's Todd Hoffman's old mine. Hoffman. Gold mine. Another thing you can do is, if you hold and go like this, now you can see mountain ranges this way. See there? They're in a big, huge, flat valley. Come over here and there's the hills. You go back up, you're over it. See? Big valley, ridges. Go down. So you can see depths and changes and stuff like this. It's a really good tool, guys. Alright? Can't stress it enough. Another thing you can do is, you can notice patterns in bedrock by using this. Go back over to where my area is. Zoom in, come on, load it, load it, load it. Come on. Okay. So, this spot right here, it's a really good spot in Massachusetts. That's Couch Brook. Alright. The bedrock formation that runs up through here that holds hard rock gold is the Clough Formation. Now, it goes in bands right here. It swirls, it goes up. There's a bunch of bands that run up, faults that run up that way. Okay. Now, the Clough Formation runs right through the middle, right up there. Right. Now let's look at the difference in the bedrock. See how right here they're more rounded. Okay, they're more rounded and bubbly, and it's more defined. Okay, let's run up. Bubbly, bubbly, defined. Bubbly, bubbly. Runs up through Newfane. Bubbly, bubbly, defined. Bubbly, bubbly, defined. Get skinny right here. right where this is real skinny. Now it gets a little wide here. It goes from 12 to 100. So look at the difference in the bedrock. Bubbly, defined, and is defined with different shapes. Okay? It's all stuff that you gotta be looking for. You can see bedrock and stuff. Like, see right here, there's a ridge line again too. One of those fault lines running through there. Alright, so I hope this helps you guys out some. Like I said, there's a bunch of different websites that you can go on to. You're going to want to use those diggings and mine dat to find out research and stuff and gold that's been found in the areas. Then you can use this, find out the maps, find out the area, pick an area, like in Hale Hollow. Go to Hale Hollow, then go to Usgs Report with hydro cache. And when you go in hydro cache, you're going to zoom in. It's going to show you all the waterways that are actually flowing, even tiny little trickles in the mountains. It's going to show you those. Every little pond and pool, it will show you. Take those, make a map of the area, because you're not always going to have coverage with your phone when you go there. So you're going to have to make maps of these areas, hand-drawn maps, or buy a map of the state, mark it out that way, draw your own map, your own gold map, okay? Now, after you've done those, you're going to go a little bit further. Now you can research and type in 1800s gold maps, 1800s waterways, and you'll be able to get a lot of information from that. Alright, so combine all those and you guys will be getting some good gold. Alright, hope the Ant-Man can help you guys out, and see you on the road.